Hey, what's up everybody? Average Sniper here. Welcome to the video. Last night I saw a random YouTube gaming video that was very interesting. Interesting enough that I wanted to react to it and share it with you guys. So smack the like button. But before we get started, I want to share the channel of the original creator. His name is Gamer's Thumb, and the link to his YouTube channel will be in the video description. He makes great gaming videos. I'm surprised he only has 1.3 thousand subscribers. So make sure you go to his channel and subscribe to him, and you will find the original video named EOMM Exposed right on the main page of his channel. Okay, let's get started.
Here's the scene. I'm doing well on Call of Duty. I'm calling in airstrikes, I'm racking up the multi-kills, and then bam, in the next match, I'm playing against sweats and trying to muster the focus and intensity level needed just to compete. This is due to modern skill-based matchmaking, and we can all agree this sucks, right?
Now this is the part that got me, because I have always assumed that skill-based matchmaking is only good for people that are bad at the game, but it really hurts people that are good at the game because they get put against major tryhards and cheaters just for doing a little good instead of getting rewarded. But this guy has a completely different view on it, one that I didn't even know about. So let's continue watching.
Well, as it turns out, probably not. As in, skill-based matchmaking probably isn't to blame, and neither are all those sweaty players handing me my ass in that last match. There's something else at work, but first let's get some context and talk about what players want and expect out of matchmaking. Let's talk about the good old days. It feels like online gaming changed slowly over time, but there was a big change around 2019. In games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, it felt like players were consistently being punished for doing too well and getting thrust into matches where they're suddenly in over their head, or at least have to really struggle to stay competitive. Ah, the dreaded skill-based matchmaking, or SBMM. But it wasn't always like that. In fact, skill-based matchmaking has been in online gaming for at least 19 years. I remember Halo 2 displaying a player's skill rating after each match and using this rating to balance out teams. But skill-based matchmaking seemed to hit its stride in the late 2000s and early 2010s with Call of Duty. Here's how I remember it. I bounce around from lobby to lobby until I find one that fits. The match is challenging, it's fun, maybe I have a mini rivalry going with someone, but lobbies were persistent back then, so a few people might drop or join here and there, but for the most part, you could play with the same people several matches in a row. Sometimes this would last a few rounds, sometimes several hours. Many temporary bonds were formed, but there were also a lot of lasting friendships made this way. For many, this was Call of Duty's heyday, and I don't think that's unrelated.
This really, that part really gets me, because Modern Warfare 2 was really the first Call of Duty that I really no-lifed. And I specifically remember this. You know, you would find a good lobby, the people would stick around, it would be pretty evenly matched, you would have good teammates. But nowadays it seems like when I sign on to play by myself, like I always do, I get matched with like the worst dog shit teammates in the world, people that are AFK, people that have no idea, have never held a controller or used a keyboard and mouse before. And I'm like, why does it keep putting me on the teams with these guys? And then all of a sudden, randomly, I will be on a team of people that know what they're doing, and we will smash the lobby. Gone are the days of having even scoreboards. Usually it's either like a full blowout. It's always like a full blowout. One team destroys the other team, and that's just how it goes. And this, I always assumed that was just because of lag. Then later on in my gaming career, I learned about skill-based matchmaking, and from that point, I always assumed it was just skill-based matchmaking. Up until last night. This guy has some great points.
But let's be clear, the idea that doing well in a few matches will get you matched up against better players the next time you join a server is not new. That's how these games have worked for almost 20 years as far as I can tell. But over time, and especially around 2019, players noticed the skill-based matchmaking tightening. Lobbies were disbanded after every match, supposedly so everyone's ranks could be adjusted and rebalanced. And because I'm good at Call of Duty, skill-based matchmaking was throwing me into sweatfests and ruining my fun. Except that's not true at all. I mean, I'm 49, my reflexes are shot, and these days I'm probably an average player at best. So why am I playing lifers with every camo unlocked? If skill-based matchmaking had tightened up the way we think of it, shouldn't we all be playing people that are roughly the same skill? Isn't that the whole point? Most of us play enough games against enough opponents that our skill rating should be fairly accurate, especially after a game has been around for a few weeks or a few months. But if we're all playing against the same skill of players, shouldn't everyone be getting roughly the same number of kills and deaths, for example? Shouldn't each match be fairly competitive and come down to the wire pretty regularly? But that's not the experience at all. Matches appear imbalanced before they ever begin, and the final scores are regularly lopsided. Well, there's a very good reason why you pop off in one match and get ripped in the next, and you shouldn't blame skill-based matchmaking. Blame Las Vegas.
What? This is where my mind got blown. All right, real pay attention to this part. This is crazy.
Casino games have two diametrically opposed goals. Be fun and engaging for the player, but also extract as much money as possible. This is a tricky balancing act, so those games boil down to one key metric. How many times can the players lose before they'll stop playing? A paper by UCLA studied this idea in relation to online gaming, and based on their findings made a bold claim that simply creating fair matches wasn't enough to keep players engaged, that in fact using a new method of engagement optimized matchmaking, players would stick around longer. They worked with EA on the study, and although they didn't specify which game, they did mention running their simulation with real data from a popular game. So this isn't just some obscure paper that the industry isn't aware of. The paper was published in 2017 during what would have been the development cycle for games released in 2019. This study found that players were more likely to quit playing a game for good if they lost too many times in a row. I mean, yeah, I'd say that checks out, but the kicker here is that they'd see a similar rate of players dropping if they won too many times in a row. The paper is linked in the comments below if you're interested. It's pretty dry, but it's also...
So basically what he's saying here is that if you play a game and you always lose, you're less likely to keep playing that game. On the flip side of the coin, if you play a game and you always win, you get bored with the game and you don't play it as long. There has to be some kind of challenge to keep you playing. That's just like what gambling is all about. I mean, if you're winning money, if you're a professional gambler and you're guaranteed to win money every time you gamble and you're just in it to make a buck, then that's one thing. So if you're a Call of Duty player and you only play it to stop noobs and that's what makes you happy, then you can win all you want and never quit. But most people are playing it to have fun and they want some kind of a challenge. If you play a game that's too easy and you don't really have an invested interest in that game already, you're not going to want to play it. Same goes for losing. If you don't have like a vested interest in this game already and you're going to play it no matter what, if you lose the whole first day or two that you play it, you're probably going to go for a refund.
An interesting read. You know what else is below? The like and subscribe buttons. And I'm not saying clicking them will change your life, but I'm not saying that it won't. The whole gist of the study was to point out that the best way to keep players playing was to throw them a bone once in a while and make sure they were on the good team with some good teammates. Let them go ham and feel like they're eating the other team up. But the rest of the time, well, somebody has to be eaten. In any given match, there will be a chosen...
Let me just stop to say this guy's production values are really good. I like the transition screens. I like the font. I like the way he does his graphics. So make sure you guys go to the video description and subscribe to this guy. Tell him you came over from the Average Snipers channel. I really like this guy's content, and I want other people to know about it. And so don't just like and subscribe to me because I am just reacting to this video. This is the man that made the video. Go to his channel in the video description and show him some love, people.
Few whose skill rating is higher than everyone else. I call these the lions. Everyone else is there to feed them, and I call these the lambs. There seems to be a range of skills amongst the lambs too, with a few being way overmatched and everyone else somewhere in between. Those in-betweeners are likely to have some success, but also some frustrations, but nothing too extreme either way. Sometimes you're the lion, sometimes the lamb, but everyone has to be the lamb more often in order to make being the lion feel special. It's just simple math, and that's the key metric to engagement optimized matchmaking. How often can you lose before you'll quit? How many matches of being the lamb can they force on you before letting you be the lion? Because the lion matches keep you going, but there can only be a few lions in each match or else the whole thing falls apart. And the longer you play, the more likely you are to buy the season passes and skins and weapon blueprints. So we really are back to be fun and engaging, but also extract as much money as possible. Honestly, this explains everything. I don't have any inside knowledge, and I'm not aware of anyone coming out and saying this is definitively how matchmaking works now, but it seems incredibly obvious. This is why lobbies are lopsided. This is why matches aren't as consistently competitive as they should be. This is why I can go 24-4 in a match right after being a bullet pinata. And it changes my whole mindset while I'm playing. If I go off, then I can assume I was punching down. And now if I'm in a match and everyone seems to be better than me, I know the lions in the match were due for a pick-me-up and I was the closest lamb. Those lions are now more likely to stick around and spend money, and I just have to suffer being a lamb until it's my turn. But I'm still not spending money in the shop, and I think we'd be better off if we'd all stop spending money in the shop.
For real.
But that's probably a topic for a different video. I don't know. I genuinely want to be good at Call of Duty, but how can I know where I actually stand? It reminds me of racing games that are programmed so the AI drivers will always speed up or slow down for you so the race is competitive no matter how well or how badly you drive. But under this model, the AI would not only beat you a bunch, but it would occasionally allow you to win. Where's the fun in that? How can you know if you're getting better or getting worse at a game under these conditions? So this all feels weird to me and super manipulative. So this all feels weird to me and super manipulative. Oh my god, I said manipulative.
Manipulative.
I have so much trouble with that word. But it does raise a lot of questions. If players play longer under this system, doesn't that mean they're enjoying it more? Are players actually enjoying it more, or are we just being emotionally manipulated more effectively? Does a gambling addict enjoy a slot machine more than a tourist? Either way, it's time to let skill-based matchmaking off the hook. So yeah, check out my channel. I've got some other Call of Duty content, both long form and shorts, and thanks for watching. Okay, here's the scene. I'm doing well on Call of
That was a great video. I watched that last night while I was just sitting around on my leisure time, looking for something to do, and I was like, I occasionally enjoy some Call of Duty nostalgia, and especially stuff about skill-based matchmaking. So I thought that video was amazing, and I'm surprised it doesn't have more views. It does have a lot of views compared to the amount of people subscribed to that guy's channel. So I would say for like the 8th time, show him some support. Link to his channel in the video description. Go into the comments section. Let me know what you guys think about this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.